Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we'll talk about respiration. As long as introduction of our respiration is concerned, all living organism, use cellular respiration to extract energy from organic compounds. So, here is a general rule: all living organisms require organic compound for their energy requirements. Some organism has ability to synthesize their own organic compounds, which are known as autotrophs. For example, plants has ability to synthesize their own organic compound, and after the formation of these organic compounds, these are broken down and energy is released. So metabolic activities is run in this way. Organism don't have such ability are known as heterotroph. For example, animals are heterotroph. They cannot synthesize their own organic compound. They use the organic compound which are already synthesized by the plant. So autotroph means those has ability to synthesize their own organic compound, and heterotrophs are those organisms which don't have such ability. So, as a conclusion, all living organisms require organic compound for their energy requirement. So, there are two main types of cellular respiration: aerobic respiration, and second one is anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration is that type which takes place in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. Oxygen is not involved in anaerobic respiration. So it is also known as fermentation. A large amount of energy is released during aerobic respiration, but very small amount of energy is released in anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is a complete breakdown of organic compound, but in anaerobic respiration, incomplete breakdown of organic compound takes place, and the end product in this case, in aerobic case, is a carbon dioxide and water, because when organic compounds are broken down into inorganic, it means that organic compound has completely broken down. The end product will be carbon dioxide and water, while in case of anaerobic respiration, end product may be organic compound, because organic compounds are not completely broken down. The end product may be alcohol or lactic acid. When it is end product is alcohol, it is known as alcoholic fermentation, and if end product is lactic acid, it's known as lactic acid fermentation. There are some microorganisms that have this type of respiration. Some of them are having alcoholic fermentation, and other have a lactic acid fermentation. So, sometime human muscle may also respire anaerobically, and as a result, lactic acid is being produced in our muscles. Aerobic respiration takes place in cytosol and mitochondria, and in case of anaerobic respiration, that takes place only in a cytosol, and the process that involve in this anaerobic respiration is a glycolysis, while in case of aerobic respiration, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, electron transport chain, these are the three major processes by which this aerobic respiration is completed. So here we will discuss some important points about the respiration, how that respiration is, the whole process of respiration is carried out. At first we discuss the actual need of this respiration. So the goal of respiration is produce ATP. ATP production is the main role of respiration, by which all the metabolic activities are being performed by the cell. So this goal is achieved through a series of oxidation reduction reactions, in which energy is released from oxidation reduction reaction in the form of electrons. These electrons are then shuttled by the electron carriers through an electron transport chain. So when these electrons are moved through the electron carriers, the energy of these electrons are used for the production of a proton gradient, which operate ATP synthase, and ATP is produced. So these are the coupled reactions which we discuss in our process of chemiosmosis or Mitchell's hypothesis. Here again, electron from the food is being shuttled from one carrier to the other carrier. Then ultimately it is combined with proton in the presence of oxygen. The end product, water, is formed. Here is a high energy, low energy, and when electrons lose its energy and coupled for the movements of proton across the membrane, and that proton motive force, which is created by the accumulation of a proton, operate the ATP synthetase, and ATP is produced in this way. Here is a simple working of a enzyme. For example, this is an enzyme that is a kinase enzyme, phosphoenol pyruvate kinase enzyme, which has ability to transfer one of its phosphate to the ADP, and adenosine diphosphate will be converted into adenosine triphosphate with the help of transferring of this phosphate to the ADP. So this type of phosphorylation is known as substrate level phosphorylation, that will be discussed in preceding slides. And another mechanism of a release of energy, cell use ATP as energy currency, ADP plus phosphate, as we have seen in a previous slide, ADP plus phosphate, and with the energy that ADP is shifted to form ADP, which is unstable compound, and when this unstable compound ATP is broken down, energy is released, and ADP and phosphate is then again formed. This ATP production have a different mechanism we will discuss in so there are different mechanism by which synthesis of ATP takes place. Actually, synthesis of ATP is known as phosphorylation. Actually, phosphorylation means addition of a one phosphate to the ADP, and then this ADP is converted into ATP. This is carried out by different mechanism. First one is a substrate level phosphorylation, in which transferring of that phosphate directly to ADP from another molecule. For example, we have discussed in a previous slide that PEP donate its phosphate to ADP, and ATP is generated there. So next one is a oxidative phosphorylation. This oxidative phosphorylation process takes place in mitochondrial crystals, in which electron transport chain, electrons are moved from one carrier to the other, and form a proton gradient, and that gradient is then operate the ATP synthetase and ATP is synthesized. So in this way, this type of phosphorylation is called oxidative phosphorylation. In the same way, photophosphorylation, here also ATP synthate is involved in electron transport chain. As electrons are moved, proton gradients are being established, and with the help of that proton gradient, ATP transfer phosphate to the ADP and ATP is synthesized. So this is takes place in a light reaction. That's why it's known as photophosphorylation. There are three possible ways by which ATP can be synthesized. This is all about introduction about the respiration. Thank you very much.